Bench testing a 1955 Cadillac headlight switch with the fog light option. Serial number brodie228703222024. Offered by TT Parts Rebuilding. Run-up test. Test number 1, tail and parking light operation. Test number 2, tail and headlight operation. Test number 3, dash lights set low to high. Test number 4, tail and fog light operation, front parking lights off. Test number 5, circuit breaker test. Test number 6, switch terminals insulated from ground. Using a fully charged battery at 12.65 volts, during the run-up test we're going to be boosting the battery. Now reporting 13.56 volts. We'll be monitoring the rheostat temperature. We have a digital Fahrenheit gauge here. Right now we're at ambient, around 78, 79 degrees. Test number 1, tail and parking light operation. First position, tail lights, parking lights. I'm going to set these dash lights to low and off. Again, first position, front parking, tail lights, and dash lights, and off. Test number 2, tail and headlight operation. First position, tail lights, front parking. Second position, front parking lights come off, headlights are on. Back to first position, headlights off, front parking lights on, and off. Test number 3, dash lights set low to high. First position, I'm going to rotate the rheostat to the off position. Back to mid-range. %90 bright. And full bright. Back to mid-range. We see a little increase in Fahrenheit temperature. Back to low. And off. Second position, headlight position, low, mid-range, and full bright. Back to mid-range. First position, low, off, mid-range, full bright, mid-range, and off. Test number 4, tail and fog light operation, front parking lights off. First position, we have our parking lights. Front fog switch that's bolted to the front of the main body. We have a control switch, and we're going to rotate that to turn on the fog lights. Indication of fog lights, front parking lights are off. The early classic cars usually had a generator. There was a lot of lights to run in the front, the parking plus the fog lights. So the feature for the parking to the fog would turn off the front parking. Second position, we see that this option is not available. Only in first position can we control the parking and the fog lights. Second position, that feature is not available. Only in first position can we rotate the fog switch and control the front parking or the fog lights. And off. Test number 5, circuit breaker test. Delco around the headlight switches hit an onboard circuit breaker. It's a bimetallic contact arm that would overheat if there's a short in the vehicle wiring or anywhere in the switch circuit. Bimetallic arm would expand and break the connection from the battery to the switch. To demonstrate that, we're going to put this in first position, simulate an overheating of the contact arm and the breaking of the circuit back to the battery, protecting the switch. Again, the feature is also available in headlight position. Expansion of the contact arm. We see we have a disconnect from the switch back to the battery. First position, overheating of the contact arm, breaking of the circuit, protecting the switch and the vehicle wiring. and off. Test number 6, switch terminals insulated from ground. Using the standard 12-volt test light, and demonstrate that the switch terminals are insulated from ground. We have ground back to the battery through the switch chassis. And a probe the panel light terminal, no continuity back to the battery. Battery feed, no continuity back to the battery. Headlight feed, no continuity back to the battery. Tail light feed, no contact back to the battery. Parking light feed, no contact back to the battery. Brake feed, no contact back to the battery. Parking light feed on the fog light switch, no contact back to the battery. Parking light feed, no contact back to the battery. Fog light feed, and no contact back to the battery. So this demonstrates that the terminals on the switch body and the fog light switch are insulated from ground. Only ground we have back to the battery is through the switch chassis.